Coach, thanks for joining us after this 4-0 loss to number 2 Robert Morris. First, let's just start with your thoughts on today's game.
I thought our team played better, actually, today than we did yesterday. We couldn't get on the scoreboard, obviously, which is troubling. We had great chances. Their goalie really stood up and played well, but on top of that, for them to get 2 power play goals, that was really deflating to us because I felt that our penalty kill was good last night. I felt that we had, they just made plays. Their 2 goals they made plays on, and I give them credit. They got good personnel and good coaching, and it would have helped. But we're still in the game when we're down by 2, and a soft one goes in, and we just still, you got to score, obviously, to win. So it was difficult playing catch-up against such a quality team.
What were the big factors between last night's, you guys put up 7 points, and then this time got shut out?
Well, our top line got all of our goals last night. It was then not only that, they created momentum which drew penalties, and then our special teams came through on the power play, so that made a big difference. We went shallow on the bench. Last night, and I think a fatigue factor set in. Players do have opportunities to pick up the extra ice time, and we just didn't get any production out of it.
Are there still some positives that you split with the number 2 team?
Well, sure. I mean, now that the weekend's over with, you got to be happy that we split. We won our first game. It's you got to learn how to win, and you got to learn, doing that in last night's game. To learn how to sweep's a whole different scenario. When you're talking about the rankings and how the polls work, it would have been really nice. We would have elevated ourselves substantially if we could have swept that quality team. But we're young, and there's a lot of lessons that need to be learned. Learning how to win is important to us.
This was the last home game for 2013, but you got some tough road contests coming up.
When we were winning last year, we were winning the years before, we've always had a hard schedule, and we have a hard schedule. Nothing gets easy for us. In the long haul, the overall plans is that we're going to be an improved team. We're going to be a substantially improved team. Unfortunately, we have 2 games left against Iowa State that's playing really well. But we have almost 10 days off before we play them. And then it's a good 3 weeks before we start up in January, back into what I call a second season. So second season we do really well on, because we learn lessons now. It's very important. This has been a learning process for us. And when you're teaching 12 new players and players that have not had the ice time or responsibility as far as veterans from last year, there's a lot of teaching and a lot of time involved with it. So there are an awful lot of positive things. You just got to, as coaching staff and head coach, you got to keep on pounding on the fundamentals and making certain that there's motivation amongst the players to execute those fundamentals.
Any other thoughts you have?
I can't get over the fact that it's one of the best college games that I've ever seen any player play, not just a Lindenwood player, but Kevin Walters in yesterday's game was absolutely phenomenal. Not only his point production, but what he was doing on the defensive side of the puck and making plays. And I told him I've never seen a college player be that dominant, and it was wonderful to see because he's only had 3 weekends of playing forward. But it was nice to see a smile on his face. And do I have expectations that he could pull the same thing out? Probably not. But half of what we got in that first game against Robert Morris, I'd be in heaven, every time that he steps on the ice. I'm really happy with his development.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Coach, for joining us, and have a happy holiday.
Well, thank you.